Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20 for yet another day in our journey out of the woods and healing ourselves a day at a time. Have any of you ever binged and then regretted it the next few days? It wasn't the good stuff that you binged on. You stopped yourself like as if the wild coyote in the Roadrunner, Wiley, you could grab onto the branch and save yourself from going splat on the ground, but there's still some damage and you still lit up your head with some refined carbs, be they sugar or processed foods or any of the like. So have you done that? Is it because of a stressful event either coming up or going through or on the other side with the, whew, yeah, I got through that? Well, sometimes we can't anticipate, of course, the stressful event. Like, say you were laid off or fired or somebody hit your car or you hit somebody's car or something like that. Those are the unpreventable things where your stress does hit off the charts. But say you know you've got something coming up. Say it's one of those family events and that person that makes you absolutely nuts that is coming from a in desperate need of doing something about their weight has comments for you like, if you get any skinnier, they're just gonna really big. You know the types, right? So you know you're heading towards a stressful event, and this is June 2017. So think of the stressful events that happen for regular, normal people anyway. You've got graduations, you've got weddings, you've got family reunions and cookouts and all of those sorts of things. Or just the internal pressure of like, and I'm going to be expected to be in a bathing suit at this family event held by this lake with this great big cookout. So you've got some stressful events coming up. And you don't want to binge, of course, because you've been getting some momentum with your ketogenic under 20 food plan. Or, in the case of what prompted this, one of my followers, subscribers, who's a couple years older than me, is moving across country. Can you imagine picking up your home and moving across country at an older age, closer to 70 than to 60? What an exhausting thing to even think about. All those projects that you didn't take care of before. Not just saying, if you're like me, all those cupboards and drawers and boxes in, those faraway tucked places that you'll never use, you don't even know what's back there, that you promised yourself you'd go through. Well, now they're coming home to roost, right? So you've got some stress. How about, this came to me today, and I commented to her on the YouTube channel. How about if you just be gentle on yourself and allow for more carbs? Not refined carbs, not sugar, not processed foods, not pastas or breads or any of those things that not only create the likelihood of a binge, but they also can create the likelihood of an emotional hangover, a sugar withdrawal, and maybe another F-it moment where you have another binge. So how about allowing yourself some more carbs while you go through this and tracking them? Like if you are keto under 20, perhaps going to 40 or 50, 60 or 75. But the additions into your carb load will be things like starchy veggies, not processed, no breads, no wraps, none of the fancy keto BS junk food that's out there. I'm talking about adding more healthy carbs, like full-fat Greek yogurt, like maybe more dairy if you allow it, the sweet potato that I just mentioned, a double load of Brussels sprouts, kale if you can handle it. Obviously, I can't. But things like that. And then tracking it and following it. Your head knows you're having more carbs. Your stomach knows you're having more carbs. So there's some satisfaction in that, some satiety in that. I mean, if you're having a sweet potato with a full tablespoon of pasture-raised butter on it, I imagine you'll feel a little satisfied. And perhaps something like that veggie, like that starchy veggie, will curb any of the other cravings for the naughty, no-no, processed, refined, sugary, carby things that I'm telling you not to have, right? And so that way, you're being gentle on yourself. You're not setting your head up and failing and everything else. It's in your tracker, your Cronometer, your FitnessPal, your Lose It, all of those sort of apps that are out there. And you're just going easy on yourself through the transition period. If you're having sugary, refined, carby, pasta-y, white flour, brown flour, rice flour, I don't care what kind of flour, it's not good for you, okay? Some people have fathead pizza like me with almond flour. It's a rare and appropriate treat. Tracked, I put in all the ingredients into my Cronometer, so I have, what I know is on it, in it, and things like that. But I'm talking about going through the stressful event, like the moving, like the family reunion, like the idea that you have to be in a bathing suit, and what you had planned in January didn't pan out because you didn't really nestle into strict and disciplined keto. You did lazy keto. You might have done eyeballing. You might have said, you'll do. You might have said, oh, I did okay except for the weekend. No, keto is not. Stop at noon on Friday and then pick up again Monday morning with your first meal of the day, which comes after some sort of intermittent fasting. No. So you need to, get real, sister, get real, brother, because, the moment of truth is here. It's June, and there are some stresses that can happen, and you want to avoid them. So if you give yourself permission to have more starchy veggies or double loads of veggies or something like that in your food plan as you go through this, then perhaps you can say, I'm a success because I allowed myself these things, and the carbs did soothe me. No, it wasn't chocolate cake, cheesecake, keto-fied desserts, none of the crap. It was a sweet potato. It was a double load of the Brussels sprouts. It was green beans with some sauteed in pasture-raised butter, slivered, raw, organic almonds on top of it. It was good, healthy carbs. Maybe it was a bit of berries that you added in. These sort of things, just to get you through the stressful situation. So you don't have a double beat up of binging again, and the stress. The stress still is there of whatever event it is, right? So to me, that's like you're gaining too much weight, so you quit smoking, and then you can't stand it. So you overeat while you've quit smoking, all the sugar, and then you start smoking again, and then you got the 10 or 15 more pounds on top of it. This is the same sort of thing. You don't need to do any collateral damage with sugary, refined, processed food carbs while you're going through this event. Allow yourself more healthy carbs, like you've heard me say in my recent podcasts, where you go up in your carbs a couple of times a week. But in this case, you're allowing it, it's more of a paleo, which is kind of like keto with fruit kind of food plan until you get past the moment. You still have to be strict. There's no eyeballing. There's no lazy keto. You still have to be disciplined, and your tracker, it's a must, right? Because if you're going through the effort of allowing yourself those extra healthy veggie, full-fat yogurt, maybe a couple of berries type of extra carbs, you need to follow that. There's no screwing around. It's like a little break from the under 20 that you will resume as soon as you're out of your danger zone. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with just a suggestion. You want to take care of yourself. You want to be gentle to yourself, but it is not a binge that happens without permission and you beat yourself up about. Thanks so much for watching. Keep watching. Subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.